Namaskar friends, on my regular episode Bharatiyata ka Sankanat. Today we will speak about an issue that has become integral in world politics, and almost every nation is facing the issue, even those nations who gave birth to this issue. And that issue I am talking, you know all, that is called terrorism. You all know that India has been facing the want of terrorism for quite a long time, and now like Bhasmasur, it is killing innocents in the country of its own origin. And you all have read or seen in the news of bombings in Pakistan. For the unversed, let me tell you, according to police, on 30th July 2023, a suicide bomber detonated explosives at a political gathering in northwest Pakistan, and that killed almost 44 people died and injuring 200 people. On the outskirts of Khor in Pakistan's northwest Bajar district, which borders Afghanistan, the fundamentalist Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam or JUF party gathering was the place where the explosion occurred on Sunday, that is 30th of July. Friends, initial investigations suggested that the ISIL or ISIS group would be behind the attack, and officers were still investigating. Now listen to this, that a UN report has warned that Al-Qaeda is planning to target India. The report said that Al-Qaeda is ideologically inclined to carry out attacks in India and that is seeking security gaps for opportunistic attacks. That is what the UN report said. And according to this UN report, the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda is shaping its regional affiliate in the Indian Subcontinent to expand its operations into Jammu and Kashmir, Bangladesh and Myanmar. This 32nd report by the UN Security Council's 1267 ISIL and Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee that noted, I quote it, that one member state assessed that Al-Qaeda is shaping Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent or AQIS to spread its operations into neighboring Bangladesh, Jammu and Kashmir and Myanmar. And the report also added that Al-Qaeda is exploiting the current situations in Afghanistan to expand its operations in the region. And Al-Qaeda has been able to make advantage of the chaos in Afghanistan following the withdrawal of US troops in August 2021. The group has been able to re-establish its presence in Afghanistan and is now using the country as a base to plan attacks in other parts of the world. Friends, the UN report also said that Al-Qaeda is specifically targeting India because of country's secular and democratic character. The report said that Al-Qaeda sees India as a major obstacle to its goal of establishing caliphate in the region. The report's findings have raised concerns in India. The Indian government has said that it is taking threat seriously and that it is taking steps to increasing security. The government has also said that it is working with other countries in the region to counter the threat of Al-Qaeda. The UN report is the latest in a series of warnings about the threat of Al-Qaeda in India. In 2021, The US State Department warned that Al-Qaeda was planning to carry out attacks in India. The State Department said that Al-Qaeda was targeting sub-targets such as tourist destinations and religious sites. The threat of Al-Qaeda in India is a serious one, and the group has the capability to carry out attacks in India, and it is motivated to do so. The Indian government and its allies need to take the threat seriously and take steps to counter it. Now here are some additional details from the UN report. Al-Qaeda is particularly interested in targeting Indian security forces, government officials and religious minorities. The group is also planning to carry out attacks on economic targets such as energy infrastructure and transportation hubs. Al-Qaeda is using social media to recruit and radicalize supporters in India. The group is also receiving financial support from all its affiliates in other parts of the world. And now, the UN report is a reminder that the threat of terrorism is still very real in India. For many years, India has been the target of terror attacks, including cross-border terrorism. As a result of its support for and implementation of a zero-tolerance policy towards terrorism, India has also been at the forefront of the global community's fight against terrorism. Under the Taliban in South Asia, Al-Qaeda, ISIL and number of other UN designated terrorist organizations such as Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed once again run the possibility of finding refuge in Afghanistan. The Taliban Sanctions Committee's 2021 report of UN and other assessments have acknowledged that the persistence of ties between the Taliban and other terrorist organizations in our vicinity, including Al-Qaeda and the Haqqani network. The exercise of human rights is gravely hampered by terrorism, which is also jeopardizes the social and economic advances of all nations and areas. That is why the Indian government needs to continue take stringent steps to strengthen its security and to protect its citizens from such terror attacks. So it is high time. We know that government has already taken precautions, but also the civil citizens along with the government should be vigilant and all should take proper precautions to nullify this attack. That's all for today. भारत माता की जय।